When we're talking about riches, we're going to be talking about mobile marketing riches. Here's something that should shock you and delight you if you understand opportunity. Morgan Stanley, big company, right? They threw a whole bunch of money at some analysts, and they had those analysts go out and study mobile marketing. And here's what they discovered. They said based on their current rate of change and adoption, the mobile web will be bigger than desktop internet by 2015. Or in other words, the average website will have 51% or more traffic coming from a mobile device to their website. Isn't that crazy? That's by 2015. So you really only got 3 years to get ahead, get in on this gold rush before everybody else is forced to. Because by 2015, more people will be accessing your website or your clients' websites with a mobile device than a desktop computer or even a laptop computer combined. All right? Many mobile web users are mobile only, and this is a trend that's only getting worse. And so On-Device Research basically did a huge study, and what they found out is people that use their mobile device to get on the internet, 25% of them have labeled themselves as pretty much only getting on the internet with their mobile device. Crazy, huh? This is United States statistics. It's even worse worldwide. It's way worse in Europe and Japan. Okay? But 25% of people say they get on the computer to get on the internet maybe once or twice a month at most, and sometimes never. And again, this is a statistic that's just going to go up. It's going to get to a point where a lot of people don't even use computers anymore to get on the internet. They're just going to completely use mobile devices. When it comes to shopping activity, we're talking research, we're talking prices, reviews, promotions, purchasing products. Adobe and Keynote did this study, and here's what they discovered. When it comes to local businesses, customers of those local businesses prefer websites to apps. All right, let me say that again. Their customers and your customers, when it comes to accessing information online related to shopping, prefer mobile websites to mobile apps. Now, if we're talking about playing Angry Birds or Zombies versus Plants, Plants versus Zombies, then it's an app. That's what they want. But when it comes to purchasing information, they prefer a website. So this is why I don't teach or train people how to create apps. First of all, apps are much harder than what I'm going to show you today. Second of all, your customers and their customers for your local business clients, they don't want it, so that's why we don't give it to them. Mobile searches have quadrupled in the last year. In local search, less than 1 in 7 searches are done on a mobile device. It's huge. It's crazy. Almost all the majority of web traffic that a local business is getting right now is coming from something other than a desktop computer. It's coming from a mobile device. 1 in 3 mobile searches have local intent. So out of all the searches in the world, almost 33% of them are based around local searches. So this is a huge opportunity for you to help local businesses and, of course, get paid a ton of money to do so. The types of searches that people like to do or the websites they like to visit are search, obviously, social networking, and retail sites. Types of information they seek. Look at number 2, dining and restaurant information. One of the easiest clients to work with is a restaurant right now when it comes to mobile web for that restaurant, because that's what most people are searching. In addition, navigational is like directions to a business, and shopping, of course, and business information. Now, the link that I'm giving you below is a little out of date. Google just moved their insights to a new location. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to update that, but more important than that, the mobile movement study. I've learned a lot from Google because Google is horribly biased now to mobile, and you'll see why here as we do this presentation. But basically, Google had 5,000 plus people that they surveyed and interviewed one-on-one to understand their behaviors of the types of information they saw. And out of all the respondents, 57% of those 5,000 respondents says news. 51%, I said I've done dining. 51% said navigational, etc. All right? Same study. Reasons for searching on mobile device: to get information on the go. And look at number 3, need to search for something ASAP. We call this urgency. And what do we know about urgent consumers? They're more than just buyers, okay? They're what I call, this is the phrase that I like to say, urgent consumers are hyper consumers. They buy faster, they buy more, and they buy more often, all right? So when you talk about the best of the best, mobile has the best of the best customers for our local business, or for anybody for that matter, because there's the other side of the coin. People with a mobile device that's web-enabled, do they have less income in general or more income in general? Well, the statistics are in, and typically somebody who accesses mobile web with their own mobile device has more than the average medium income. So you're getting somebody with more disposable income who's more apt to spend it quicker, and spend it more often. This is why this is such a good service. 9 out of 10 searches have taken action as a result of a mobile phone search. This re-emphasizes what I just said, and some of the actions taken is 61% called the business, 59% visited the business, 58% looked up directions, 54% made an in-store purchase, 22% recommended to somebody else, and even 20% wrote a review. This is good stuff. Nearly all local information seekers take action within a day if they're doing so on a mobile device. Now, this next one, if you're taking notes, and you should be, this next one you should underline twice. This is very important. I'll show you later how to transform this little tidbit into a lot of money. But 71% do a mobile search because they saw an ad. So if your local business is advertising in the newspaper, chances are a lot of people who see that ad are going to look up that business on the internet via their mobile device. Opportunity is there. Okay? Now, those are all the good things. Those are all the benefits. These are all the reasons why mobile web is so important. But here's the problem. Here's what most local business websites look like on a mobile device. So I literally have plugged in my mobile device to my computer. And it's right here. I can't click on any of these icons. I literally got to hold my mobile device in my hand. But that's cool because I'm going to show you exactly what some of these websites look like on a mobile device. So just to make sure everybody sees in front of you right now, my mobile device on the computer. If so, go ahead and type in yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, and this is pretty cool, isn't it? We don't have to talk theory here. I can show you some examples. So here's what I did before this call. I looked at some local restaurants in Iowa City, Iowa, because that's where I'm from, and I just randomly picked some. And here's what I discovered. When we talk about is this site mobile friendly or mobile unfriendly, let's just take a look. So let's look at the first one. I'm going to tap on brown bottle, and it's going to load here on my mobile device. And let me ask you a question. Would we consider this website mobile unfriendly? Yes. And I mean, what's the biggest problem? Yeah, I've seen worse too, Sean. You're right. But the biggest problem is, A, you can't see anything other than the picture, and the picture takes up 33% of all the screen. So maybe that was a fluke. Maybe that was a fluke. So let's look at another one, Devote. Devote is a high-end Iowa City restaurant. Maybe since they're high-end, they'll get it a little bit better. Okay, so Devote is loading now. It's still loading. It's still loading. It's loading still. It's still loading. And it just keeps loading and loading and loading. So would you agree that this is a mobile unfriendly site? Unfriendly. And the answer is an obvious yes. All right? And there's a lot of reasons why. First of all, you can't zoom in. You can't see anything unless you zoom in, and Google hates that. They penalize sites that force you to zoom in on mobile devices. In addition, it's got way too much data, which makes it take forever to load on a mobile device. So this one's out. So let's just look at two more, okay? This next one is Formosa, Asia. This is fine dining Asian cuisine. And let's load this one up here. And actually, there we go. It's kicking in now. And obviously, this is mobile unfriendly. And the biggest problem with this one is, first of all, there's like how many menu items of navigational menus? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can't even navigate to them easily. And even if we did a zoom in here, if I still try to get to like salads or entrees, there's still a good chance I'm going to do what? Probably going to fat finger it, right? Accidentally tap the wrong menu item. So this site is not mobile unfriendly. Let's look at one more example. Lynch Street Cafe, right across from the library in downtown Iowa City. This one's been built in WordPress. So maybe WordPress has something to do with it. Maybe this will help. So let's go here, and Lynch Street Cafe is loading. And is this site mobile unfriendly? Yeah, this site is completely mobile unfriendly. And there's one specific reason. It's Flash, okay? So if we actually zoomed in here, get Adobe Flash Player, well, there's a problem. On my iPod Touch is what I'm using for this demonstration. On all Apple mobile devices, none of them support Flash. So you're either going to get something that looks like that, or it's just going to be completely blank. So this site is mobile unfriendly. This is what we call an opportunity. Mobile is so powerful, it's so beneficial to local businesses, yet almost none of them have mobile-friendly websites. So here's the conclusion that I discovered. 91% of local business sites are not mobile-friendly. And this is some informal research that I personally did. While watching television one day during commercial breaks, I randomly looked at 100 local businesses, and 91 of them were similar or worse than the ones that I just showed you. All right? Now, the other 9, the 9 that looked okay or good, guess what I concluded with reasonable certainty? Of the 9 out of 100 sites, local businesses that actually do have something that's okay on a mobile-friendly site, I discovered that they all paid somebody to do it. And that could have been you. So this is important. And what is mobile-friendly? Mobile-friendly sites load fast, they're easy to read, they're easy to navigate, minimum scrolling, avoids flash, and they tap into what we call mobile-specific consumer behavior. And I didn't just pull these numbers out of the air, these points out of the air. This is literally taken from Google's howtogomo.com site. This is what Google wants you to do for your mobile websites. Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. Loads fast. The mobile site must load fast. While I'm on Wi-Fi showing you this right now, in the real world, you're typically on a cell tower, a 3G, or maybe even a 4G. Even then, it's still not very reliable. It's not stable. It loads slow. And 21% of U.S. mobile users have unlimited data plans. And even they really don't have unlimited. Because a lot of them, when you hit 2 gigs, somehow that's the limit. Others, it's 5 gigs. Others still throttle you. After you hit 2 gigs, they slow you down to a crawl. So everybody's paying something to get on the mobile web. Some people are paying every time they access a web page. So if you're not giving them something that's light on the data, it's not mobile friendly. Easy to read. This was the #1 problem we saw with the websites that we looked at. They were not easy to read without zooming. So at best, if you're comparing a mobile screen to a 13-inch desktop or laptop screen, it's 1/5 the square area. Okay? At worst, it's 1/25. So how does a site look with 1/5 the font size? Not very good. Okay, if somebody has to zoom in to read your font, Google and everyone who is worth pleasing deems that mobile unfriendly. Okay? A mobile-friendly site is easy to navigate. You don't have a lot of space for menu items, so you don't have to use fewer of them. And they have to be spaced far enough so you never fat finger, or very rarely, if ever, fat finger. And we saw with Formosa, it's fat fingering all day long. Okay, so we got to have something that's easy to navigate. Minimum scrolling. Okay, when you zoom in on a site, what happens? Not only do you have to scroll vertically, you also have to scroll horizontally. That's not mobile friendly. And most important of all, mobile friendly websites avoid flash. Now, all Apple-powered devices, so all the iPhones, all the iPod Touches, and all the iPads do not and will not ever support flash. The official position on that is Apple has just flat out said they drain the battery too fast, flash devices do, and they're too slow, and they cost users too much data. So they said, we're never going to support that. Now, this is a problem because almost 60% of mobile devices are powered by Apple. So 60% almost of mobile will not ever show flash. That's a problem. Okay, look at Android, by the way. They're just inching around at 15%, but they're not growing that big. They went from like 14% to 15%. In that same period of time, Apple went from about 51% to 56%. So Apple is acquiring market share on the mobile browser market at 5 times the rate that Android is. And remember, we're not talking just phones. We're also talking iPods and iPads. That is why Apple is dominant, and that's why Flash is a no-no when it comes to mobile websites. In fact, this is another position that Google has taken because they're so incredibly biased. They own Android. They also just bought Motorola. And frankly, they just want everybody to, they're forcing everybody to go mobile for the most part. And so here's one of the things that they did on September 21st, 2011. They pushed advertisers to optimize for mobile sites. So anybody who's running an AdWords campaign on Google, if they don't have a mobile alternative website for the website they're advertising, Google is going to penalize them with a negative quality score. What happens when a site that's advertised in AdWords gets a negative quality score? Google says, this site isn't mobile friendly, we're going to give it a negative quality score. Yes, absolutely right, Wayne. The cost goes up. Okay. In addition, the placement goes down. So with a negative quality keyword score, you lose position and you pay more for your inferior position. This is called getting screwed on both ends. And think about this, and if you're taking notes again, underline this twice, because this is so important. We're going to use this to make a ton of money in a little bit. Now, this is how mobile should work. If somebody's on a regular computer and they go to yoursite.com, fine, nothing is different. However, if they're on a mobile device and they go to yoursite.com, what should happen is before they arrive to yoursite.com, it detects that they're on a mobile device and instead redirects them to a mobile-specific version of the website. And we could talk about this, but why don't I just show you how this works? olivegarden.com. If we go to that specific URL on our desktop or laptop computer, we're going to get this. Pretty good website, I think. Personally, this does its job wonderfully. It's very brand intensive. It's just good for Olive Garden. It's got not only the menu, it's got My Olive Gardens, it's got their connections to Italy, as if there were any. It's got career opportunities, videos, Facebook fans, all that stuff. However, I think we would all agree that this would not render very nicely on a mobile website, right? On a mobile device, if they try to force this into a mobile device, it would look horrible, yeah? Oh, absolutely. It would take forever to load. And more importantly, besides that, there's stuff on this page that mobile users care nothing about. Do you think anybody's going to apply for a job for Olive Garden on a mobile device? No. So it doesn't need to be on the mobile website. Okay, very few of these things. Do you think a mobile user who has a sense of urgency, who needs information right away because they're mobile, do you think they care about their connections to Italy? No, that does not belong on a mobile website with very limited space. See, Olive Garden understands this. So that's
about
why
an hour and a half to go
open
yet.
up my mobile device now, and let's watch when I go to olivegarden.com on this device, on a mobile device. Same URL, olivegarden.com. However, it detects that I'm on a mobile device, and this time redirects me to their mobile-specific site. In this case, if we look at it, it's at m.olivegarden.com. Now, corporate loves doing this, m.whatever.com. I don't recommend it. I'll tell you why here in a bit. But this is what they do. They detected I was on a mobile device, so they redirected me to a different URL. And this is as good of a mobile site as any you'll ever see. This is a paradigm perfect example of a mobile site that is good. Did it load fast? Will it load fast on a mobile device? Yeah, absolutely. Is it easy to read? Yep, super easy to read. Is it easy to navigate? It's completely easy to navigate. Is there any vertical or horizontal scrolling? Not a single bit of it. This is a great example of a mobile website. It does not use Flash. And most importantly, it takes into account mobile-specific behavior. Okay, think about it. Most people that are going to look at olivegarden.com on their mobile device probably want to find a restaurant, find something to eat, or maybe they're actually inside the restaurant and they want nutritional information. This is perfect. This is a great mobile website. Olive Garden gets it. Almost nobody else does. So what I just showed you is called browser detection, and this is how we do it, and this is how you should do it for local businesses. If their main site is bobspizza.com, for example, what we would do for the client is we would register for them bobspizza.mobi. If a person goes to bobspizza.com on a mobile device, then they'll automatically be redirected to bobspizza.mobi and get the mobile-specific website. It seems to be, I don't have any factual proof besides my gut to back this up, but it seems to be that you're going to get additional love from Google by buying the .mobi, because you have identified to Google this is a mobile-specific website. Very specifically, you have identified that. Very specifically. So it can't hurt, and it will probably help a lot with mobile SEO. And I want you to do it that way because it is the best practice that I have found. So here's the idea. The idea that when we do browser detection for a client, so we create the mobile website for them, we buy the .mobi for them, the idea is that we're never going to touch their site, ever. I never, ever want to touch the client's main site. What I do instead is give them 2 lines of code. And I say, put this at the very top of your website or have your web developer or webmaster do this. So I give them the 2 lines of code that detects a browser, and then it redirects them to the mobile site that I created on their .mobi. Okay? Why do you suppose that I do that? 2 lines of code instead of touching their website. Well, there's 2 reasons for this. Reason number 1, I don't know what I'm going to step in when I log on to their website. Okay? You know, if they build it in WordPress, great. I know WordPress. But if they build it in Drupal, I'm like, huh? Plus, I don't want to ever be accused of ever breaking anything on their website. So I never, ever want to touch it. Okay? Reason number 2, if they come back to me and say, well, the guy that used to have my old website broke it, you know, and I can't find him anywhere, then I will touch their site. But that's going to be an additional fee above and beyond what they're already paying me for. Now, before we get into some specific client acquisition strategies and tactics, and I have 4 of them that are awesome, that I guarantee you will be worth the time you spend on this webinar with me. Okay? Before I do that, I really want to help you understand why this particular opportunity is perhaps the best opportunity that exists right now. Because here's the deal. You're in internet marketing, and I'm in internet marketing, and you and I and Costas and everybody in internet marketing, we see a lot of good offers every single week. A lot of different marketers saying, do this, it will make you a lot of money. And frankly, there's a lot of good opportunities out there right now. Out of all those opportunities right now, you can really only focus on one. I want you for the next week, just give it 1 week, to focus on this opportunity, because I think it's probably the best opportunity for you right now. For all the reasons that I've discussed earlier, and all the reasons I will discuss with you. But think about this. Here's your market. They're used to spending thousands of dollars for similar services. They'll sock out $10,000 for a yellow page ad. They'll sock out $25,000 for radio and television. They'll stock out $50,000 on different types of advertisements within a year, and not bat an eye. In addition, you can easily demonstrate their problems to them. You basically just show them, hey, this is what your website looks like. They freak out. Okay? Think about this. Just in general, almost everybody has a mobile phone these days. But it's even worse with local businesses. They're almost married to their mobile phone. And any local business owner can tell you that. I mean, I'm married to my mobile device. Costas, I'm assuming you are too.
Yeah,
probably never leaves your side, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If I say, hey, have you ever been on a mobile website before? Meaning, have you ever used your mobile device to get on the internet? Here's why. Because they've done this as a consumer. Meaning they went on other people's websites on their mobile devices. A lot of business owners have. But they've never, ever thought about people going on their website on mobile devices until you show them. So this is so easy to demonstrate. It's one of the easiest services. It reminds me of Costas' service with the ambulance method, where you show a business a negative review, and then they're like, we got to fix this, right? They get that immediately. You don't have to explain anything to them. They just get it without an explanation. Same thing with this. You show them, hey, this looks horrible. They get it. They realize there's a problem, and they need it fixed. And that relates to some other psychology dealing with local businesses. You could show a local business what they could do to increase and possibly benefit by using your services, and they're like, yeah, that'd be great, but it seems like a lot of work. Okay, or you could show them, hey, this is broken and is currently already costing you a lot of money until you fix it. Which are they going to be more motivated to respond to? They're going to be much more motivated to respond to, oh my God, this thing's broken, I got to fix it ASAP, because it's a pressing problem, as opposed to, oh, that would be nice to have, but it's not pressing right now. So this is why it's easy to sell. And they really need your service right now more than any other local marketing service, because Google is basically penalizing everybody in regular search results who do not have mobile alternatives for mobile viewers, because Google's goal is to give the most relevant result for a searcher, right? And if somebody's on a mobile device and they're doing a search and all the sites they're getting are not mobile friendly, are they getting relevant results? The answer is absolutely not. So Google's penalizing every site, regardless if it's in the regular search engine or the mobile search engine, who is not mobile friendly. So this is very important to them. They really need your help, and no one is helping them right now. In your city, there's probably 100 SEO consultants. There's probably not one mobile consultant unless I train them. Here's the opportunity. We're going to find local businesses in less than 60 seconds who need mobile websites. And they're not just any old local business. They're the ones that are most targeted to say yes without any selling on your part. And they will say yes at the highest. How do we get these clients? It's so easy. Method number one. I call this the other media method. 71% of mobile users do a mobile search because they saw an ad from television, newspaper, or radio. So anytime you come across a local advertisement on any of the mediums, go to their website on a mobile device. If it's bad, we're going to contact them. And we're going to close an awful lot of them. Here's why. So here's the message we contact these people with who are advertising, local advertisers, and we find out they have a bad mobile website. Okay? By the way, doesn't matter if you contact them by email, doesn't matter if you fill out their contact form on their website, doesn't matter if you show up in person, call them on the phone, or find them on Facebook. I don't care how you contact them. Just contact them. Okay? So, say we're calling them by phone, cold calling them. Bring, whoever answers the phone. Whoever answers the phone. This is what I say to them. There's a problem with your website. I need to talk to your owner right away. Do you think I get past any gatekeeper right to the owner? Do you think they get past the gatekeeper, though? Every single time. If the local business owner is actually in the business, you will get a conversation with them, with that message. And then when you do, you say, hey, I recently saw your whatever in the whatever. In this case, I said, I recently saw your newspaper ad in the Iowa City Press Citizen. I went to your website from that ad on my mobile device, and your website is kind of broken. See the attached image. I go, this is a problem because according to Google, yada, 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 right? Then I say, anyway, I'm also a local business person, and one of our firm's specialties is helping local businesses optimize better for the web. I took the liberty of creating a mobile website example of what your site could and should look like. And let me know and I'll send it over to you. Okay? This is what we do with email. This is what we do with contact forms. If I'm on the phone, what I'll do is I'll say, hey, I took a screenshot of what your website looks like on my mobile device. What's your best email address? And I'll send it over to you right now. So let's go through each part of this because this is important. First of all, how do you take a screenshot of a website? Well, let me just show you. Here's the home screen button. Here is the power button at the top. You push both of these simultaneously. Now you'll see the screen go white for a second, very quickly. And now if you go to Photos on your mobile device, and you tap on Photos, so you tap on Photos, it'll be the last one that you just took a picture of. So in this case, you can see here, 6:45 p.m. Eastern or Central Time on this webinar. I just took a picture of this. And if I wanted to email it to somebody, I just tap on this bottom left and click Email Photo, and then it pops in there and it drops right in, and I can email it just like that. And this is for Apple devices. Android, it's a little bit different. You'll have to download a free app from their app store, and then you can take a screenshot. Pretty simple, though. That's how we take a screenshot. Okay? Second thing. Do you suppose I have already created a mock-up for them of what their mobile site could and should look like? In reality, I haven't. It's a little bit of a fib. Okay? I don't want to waste my time, though. So if they say, no, I'm not interested, I say, okay, great, and I move on. And I've only wasted 30 seconds on a phone call, right? If they say yes, and create a mock-up. And I'll show you that here in a second. Pretty simple, though. So this is the first thing I send out to them. Let me ask you a question. How many, just by pure accident, how many local advertisements do you think you could stumble over in the next 48 hours that had bad mobile websites? Oh, there's so many. Okay? I want you to commit to me to do at least one. Contact just one. You can do more, but do at least one in the next 48 hours. So find a local advertisement in the next 48 hours that has a bad mobile website and use this message. Email it to them, fill out their contact form, call them, whatever. Okay, but you could probably find 20 or 30 of these a day. Do you think if you contacted 20 or 30 businesses a day, you could get one client a day? Is that asking too much?